If you've ever sat at home on the weekend scrolling on your phone, wondering why don't I have any friends, or having FOMO because everybody else is doing something, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, what's wrong with me? Firstly, there's nothing wrong with you, but this video is surely for you. But before we go any further, I just want you to take a second to have a look around you in your life. But the friends, the connections, the people that you already have in your life, such as the girls in work, the friends who you say hello, or the people, that you say hello to at the checkout, where you get your coffee from, in the grocery store, in the restaurant, the sports club, the gym. These are people and connections in your life. Some may be more friends than others, but how long have you had these connections and these people in your life? Because the reality is, me to you, you to them, them to you, we were all strangers to each other before we became friends. The people that you work with, those in the grocery store, in the gym, in your Pilates class, in your cooking class, the people that you engage with, you never knew them like you did now before. And in this video, I'm going to help you build so much more confidence to have unlimited friendships that really, really light you up and support you on your own personal journey in life. Are you ready? This video is perfect for you, even if you've moved cities, countries, or you feel like you've outgrown your old friendships. I want you to know you're not broken and you're definitely not alone. Hi gorgeous, I'm Katie and I'm the founder of the School of Sensuality. I have this platform here just for you. All the girls talks that, never normally leave a group chat or you're too scared to Google or ask your friends about. I am here bringing all those subjects to you. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about why it actually is hard to make friends as an adult. Why do you think it is? Ask yourself, why is it hard to make friends? I am someone who has lived and traveled in 4 countries. So when I moved from the UK to France, oh my goodness, I can't believe I actually did it. It was raining, it was snowing, it was cold. It was the first time that I was away from my parents from Christmas at the age of 18 in a country where I did not speak the language. I was actually working in Disneyland Paris at the time, and I've come in to move into my accommodation with an Italian lady who didn't really speak much English. I could do nothing. All I had, I think back then I had like a little book that had the translations in French, but she was Italian, so obviously there was definitely a mismatch of communication. And I then was in this cold room, snowing, on the phone, crying to my dad, thinking, oh my God, what have I just done? And in that moment, my dad helped me and he supported me. He was like, Katie, you can make friends so easily. And I was like, you're right. And then I had that memory of how I'd come through my life and had already by the age of 18, I've done so many sports. I've been in the Girl Guides. I've had such a variety of friends. And that moment at 18 made me kind of rethink. I was like, oh my God, I so can. And you know what I did? The first day I went to my job, I went in and I told them that I was scared because I'm in a foreign country. I'm away from my friends for the first time and I really want to make friends with someone. It was so raw and so vulnerable for me to be so honest to strangers in a foreign country that I'd never met before and tell them that I had no friends. Obviously, depending where you are in life, we don't always need to do that, but the more honest that you can be, you are going to meet such lovely people in your life, because those people that you approach, those people that you come to and you share your honesty with, they're going to see, whoa, she's actually being real. She's not faking it. She's not faking her confidence. But the more honesty that you can give, the people are going to say, oh, wow, she just wants to make friends. That will allow them to feel like, I know what it's like and I know when it feels hard to make friends as well. So why don't we be friends together? The experience of moving to France really taught me something so important. If you don't have yourself and if you don't trust yourself, if you're not honest with yourself, life can feel so brutal. But when you learn how to look after yourself emotionally, mentally, and physically, you actually build resilience. And the resilience is magnetic, so people feel it. And here's the truth, most people don't tell you about making friends, is that you don't need to be bigger or bolder or lighter or more vibrant. You just need to be yourself. Because if you are trying to be someone that you're not, and you're going into a friend group and they are liking you for who you're pretending to be, that down the track is just not you, it's not real, and it's going to eat away at you. As you go on over time, these friends are going to see that this isn't your true self, that you have been lying to yourself and to your friends, so why would they want to continue to be friends with you? I am so sure that if you were so honest that you had no friends, that you wanted to make friends, that they would accept you and invite you in more rather than you trying to be fake. So by now you're probably like, okay, Katie, that's great. I want to make some friends. How do we do it? So guys, are we ready? The first practical tip I have for you is going to an activity or an experience or a moment, a scenario, a party, a gym, something that you actually like doing. The first thing that completely changed my social life was this. I stopped trying to meet people everywhere and started meeting people where I actually enjoyed being. And one of those for me was the gym. So when I moved to Australia, same again, this was the third country I'd lived in. I knew nobody. I arrived on the Gold Coast. It was so hot at that time, I remember. But I remember that thing that my dad said once. He was like, Katie, you know how to make friends. I love going to the gym. I love being active. I love connecting with people who enjoy movement, who are healthy and who look after themselves. So I found this incredible gym and we used to do calisthenics. And I actually remember I used to follow a girl on social media who does handstands. You may know of her, Morgan Rose Maroney. And I was like, oh my God, this looks so cool. I want to go and learn and do that. So I literally went to the gym where she used to hang out and I became friends with all of her friends in the gym. This was the first time ever that I was learning to do a handstand. This was the first time ever that I was learning to do muscle ups and pull ups and do calisthenics with people who had had 5 and 10 years experience in the gym. But that didn't scare me because I knew who I am. I love doing fitness. I connect well with those people. So I wanted to go into these spaces and had fun at the same time. Remember, I was solo coming to Australia. Those in the gym had been friends for like 3, 5, 10 years time. They're doing the fitness together always. I've just come in as a stranger and within a couple of months, we were going out together. We were having dinners together. I had like about 15 friends at my first birthday in Australia when I arrived there and I knew nobody. The thing is, when you meet people who have got shared interests, you actually cut out the small talk about the weather and what you've had for dinner. You can go straight into, oh, what are your goals in the gym? What are you hoping to compete in? What level are you hoping to get to? After I was in the calisthenics space, then I moved into the CrossFit space. Now this got like quite a lot more intense because I was doing CrossFit competitions, but we were doing CrossFit in the week, and then on the weekends we would be going hanging out together. So if you are someone who enjoys the fitness and activeness and moving, I so suggest going into a gym group. When you're going into a space where you've got mutual interest, the conversations go so much deeper because you're actually, talking about what lights you up. Everyone in the space has got the shared hobbies, the shared vision, the same interest, and so you're all supporting each other at the same time. Of course, it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but wouldn't you rather stepping out of your comfort zone just a little bit, going into doing an activity that you want? So that could be gyms, that could be yoga, that could be a run club, that could be a cooking class, a dance class, something that sparks your interest, and allowing yourself to know that all the people that are going there have similar interests. So that's going to build your confidence to start with. And it's also going to take away any pressure from yourself along the lines of, well, how do I start a conversation? Because you're in the environment where you know exactly how to start a conversation because that's your interest. And so naturally the conversation can't flop because the other person has that interest as well. And you know what it feels like when you have an interest in something. You want to do it all the time. You're always talking about it. You're telling all your friends and family. It makes you feel happy. So if you're opening that door, the other person, the other girl in the dance class is like, oh yeah, I've been dancing for X amount of time. Hey, I found these shoes really helped me when I started. Can you see the conversation is just going to build up? You can ask questions about what shoes you need for the sport, like if you're doing a dance class and you need knee pads, whether you go into a cooking class and you need a new cooking book. There is a lot of questions around what you can actually talk about. So I want you guys to take away is get your journal and pen out and writing a list of all the activities and all the things that you enjoy and that make you happy. And then having a look at this list and think, okay, what can I go and implement this week or this weekend? What activity can I go to? Can I go and start a new dance class? Can I sign up to a new swimming lesson or a cooking class or anything that sparks your interest? And allow yourself to feel nervous and feel so intimidated. And remember this video from Katie when she moved to France and she knew nobody and she didn't even speak the language. When she moved to Australia and she just went to a gym with people who'd been doing the sport for 10 years. Remember this moment and remember, friends are strangers before we've met them. So the more that you allow yourself and your mind to think this, believe in yourself that you want to have fun and friends in life, nothing can go wrong. Okay, so now I've got practical tip number 2, and this is going to kind of lead on from what I've just shared. So really about building your confidence. I've just shared that you're going into spaces where you are having conversations about the subject and the interest and the sports, the cooking class, the dance, the Pilates that you're doing. But to help you before we get to that point is I want you on this one for a practical step is to go and stand in front of the mirror and pretend that you're having a conversation with someone in that space, in that world, in that area, in that environment, such as I use sports, for example, because it was a great one of mine. Imagine yourself as you're in the mirror looking at yourself, that you are talking to someone who loves sports. When did you start sports? What made you start sports? How often do you play? What's your favorite sports? What your favorite shoes are? Have a conversation with yourself in the mirror. You might think I'm a little bit crazy, but guys, I've been doing this for a couple of years and I can tell you it still got me this far. What this is doing is helping your mind interpret the confidence in the conversation and allowing you to feel normal about it. Rather than going into an experience completely switched off, numb and disconnected, you want to be implementing in this, starting this at home. It's like, introducing a new food to a baby. You're not just going to give it the whole banana straight away. You're going to peel it. You're going to cut the banana up. You're probably even going to mash the banana. Everything in life is the same. If we're not ready to go in and eat a full banana, we have to break it down. So if you are not ready to go into that gym, to go into that dance class, how can you do something small before that is really going to help you? We've got so much juice in this video already, but I do have another practical tip number 3. And so this tip I have for you is maybe a little bit different. This is breath work. And you're thinking, Katie, I breathe every day. Why do I need to do breath work? It is what it says, breath works. Your breath works. So intentional breath work helps your mind relax. So when you're sitting there thinking, why don't I have any friends? Why aren't they messaging me? I text them, but they don't text back. This causes us to get frustrated and overwhelmed in our mind, and our mind starts racing. And the breath work actually helps you calm all of that, because you could sit there thinking, why haven't they texted me back? Why don't I have any friends? FOMO out of everyone going out on the weekend. You could be sitting there thinking this, or you could be sitting there helping yourself make actual friends by using breath work, so that your time can be spent thinking on why aren't you good enough? Why aren't your friends, why don't you have any friends? Or you can be spending your time doing the breath work and confidence exercises that I've just shared earlier to help you make friends. Because after all, this is exactly why you came to watch this video, to learn how to make friends. So those moments when you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, I wish that I was them, or I wish I was out with them, or I wish I was partying with them, or whatever you desire to be doing when you're scrolling social media, instead, notice that it's like, oh, I'm sitting here comparing myself, thinking, why don't I have any friends? I'm going to do breath work. And guys, it's so simple. All I want you to do is sitting down on your bed. I'm going to put a sensual playlist below so you can got the tunes to listen to here as well. Put the sensual playlist on. sitting down on your bed, in the car, wherever you are, on your lunch break, sitting down, closing down your eyes, and you're going to take 10 long, deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And every breath from 1 to 10 is going to get longer and deeper each time. So the first time that you'll breathe, you're just going to breathe in and out. And by the time you get to 10, that breath in is going to take you about 6 to 8 seconds. And the breath out maybe take even 10 seconds. And why we're doing this is so we can just calm this down, so you can learn to feel. So you can be like, oh yeah, do you know what? There's absolutely no point for me to sit in here worrying, feeling anxious, when on the other side, I can sit here and just breathe because I'm building my confidence, feeling good about myself. And now I can go into spaces because I'm not anxious, I'm not scared. And even if I was, with your calm, regulated breath, your confidence naturally builds because you're not coming all frantic into an environment and maybe embarrassing yourself or saying something that you're too scared to say or be honest about. But instead, you're just coming in relaxed, open. Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a little bit uncomfortable because this is the first time in my new country. I don't speak the language and a little bit scared, but I really want to make some friends. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. I have done that numerous times, and I've also gone into spaces, into the gym, into dance classes, into co-working spaces now in my life, in environments, and I just walked in. People had same interests, same topics. We just had a natural conversation, and then we carry on as friends. Guys, everything that I'm teaching you is really tried and tested. Everything I teach, I do in my own life, and all the girls do at the School of Sensuality. I want you to become the best version of yourself, and becoming the best version of yourself is having friends around. Obviously, things take time, and it's going to take some time to learn these skills, but you can so do it with, give yourself a week. If you're wanting more guided exercise to really understand this next level of building that confidence and not feeling anxious and awkward when you're going into social situations, I teach you more of this inside the School of Sensuality. You do get a 7-day free trial. So by the time you've done your 7 days, you'll be so confident to go into that new gym or go into that new cooking class or dance class. I'm excited for you guys. I'll see you in the next video.